Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Roscar Week 6 Finals. I'm Saturn. I welcome you all. It's time for match number 1. We are starting off with the map of Erangel, and here we go. The flight path initiates from the start of Sosnoka military base and finishes off towards Stalb. It's a central region oriented flight path, so it's easy for teams to access the center of the map, but eventually it's difficult to head towards the east and the west of the map. Accessing Primos Quarry is going to be very much tough for teams. Most of the fights will happen in the center of Erang, but definitely if you have an option of vehicles, so you can manage to access the west of Erangel map. But right now, Team TRX, they'll be heading towards Primos. It's going to be a long glide for them, but I feel like Tricksters will be easily accessing Primos. Yeah, it's going to be a long glide, definitely, but they'll be able to access Primos in the end. Megapar, they're heading towards Ferry Pier, and along with them, I guess it's Astronova. Navar Astronova, NWR. Maybe they're heading to a square area, so all these three or four teams might fight with each other. Even 6 Esports they're heading towards the Ferry Pier drop location. So it's going to be Trickster Esports versus Team 6 Esports versus Megapar. First circle has just initiated, favoring the north of Erangel map. Apartments, deep inside the circle. Now will be caught in open, and too early. Xanax will get eliminated. It's Gamers United Force will be facing a casualty immediately after dropping. Roscar Prime starts off early, starts off really well. And Roscar Prime sort of being lucky that they spotted Xanax in a wide open area. Maybe some sort of confusion there between the players of Gamers United Force. It's just Aspect now in school apartments, and other two players are in school. So RSP, they need to hurry up to catch Aspect off guard. They need to breach that building as soon as possible before Aspect calls for help, before Aspect gets help from his teammates. But even that is difficult to happen. It's difficult for 223 and Ring to close in the wide open area. Finding vehicles. Xanax was trying to find vehicles. But maybe Aspect can finish one player. Yeah. First casualty for Team RSP, Roscar Prime. 2 frags at the cost of 1 casualty. Not a good deal. And I feel like they could have won this fight without losing any player. I guess Verfin, he got a bit casual and he got punished for that. United Force as well. 2 casualties in the very early stages. Not a good way to start grand finals. Multiple teams are fighting in the early stages. Megapar, who dealt with Team 6 Esports? Are they eliminated from this game? Is 6 Esports out? I don't think so. But Dope Esports, they've been eliminated. Dope Esports, they're eliminated on 19th position. 6 Esports, where did they go? I cannot see them anywhere. Well, 6 Esports will be picking up their vehicles. They face 2 casualties. And 6 Esports will be heading towards the western Georgia Coast City. But 6 and Salam, both of them have been sent back to the lobby. So this is a problem for 6 Esports. Now they have to continue this game with just 2 players. Such a great impact has been created on 6 Esports. They have to bounce back. They don't have any other option left. AES was K2. Alpha Esports. Oh, they've already lost Miles. Lighter has been knocked out, and he's too much close to his opponents. He's too much close to Team Spicy Squad. Alpha, not a great weapon combination. Just ASKS. He doesn't even have a secondary weapon. And he's lacking with ammo, so he has to control his pre-fires. Because he's losing ammo with every pre-fire he's dealing on Team Spicy Squad. Lighter somehow is trying to crawl back, and he's trying to reach Alpha so that he can get the rev. Spicy Squad, even they are under tremendous pressure. Just 2 players now remaining. It's Silas and Suzao. And with that angle, off that angle, definitely. Oh, Alpha gets knocked out at a very wrong time. Now, Pop Bro, Mr. Pop Bro, he is the final player surviving. He was holding Team Spicy Squad inside that warehouse till now with his off-gun angle. But Alpha was in a hurry to close in and knocked out and revive his teammate Lighter before him dying, bleeding to death. Alpha got caught instead. Look at the irony. Alpha got finished first. Before Lighter, he got finished. And that's a sad part. That's the sad part for Alpha Esports. Mr. Pop Bro, he's the final player surviving. He doesn't even have a helmet, so he cannot even afford to peek. Because one headshot connection would be the final thing he'll see in this game. Spicy squad. Now it completely depends on them. Maybe Spicy squad is looking for more resources to attack Mr. Pop Bro. Maybe a few grenades. And now this is the moment where Pop Bro as well should back off. No need to just stretch this fight like a rubber band. And yeah, even he is heading towards a safe area, so kind of a matured move, I must say. Yeah, indeed, a very matured move. So Alpha Esports will survive in this game. I don't know for how long, but yeah, at least Mr. Paul Bro now, he'll try to get some placement points for his team. HZ got X Hertz. They are rotating. Again, RS, they're into a fight. This time it's MVP. Potion gets knocked out. Biggie gets caught. And this is Team Roscar RS who's fighting. So there are two Team Roscars. One is Team Roscar Prime and the other one is Roscar RS. And they're in a deep state of trouble. Fight coming up from Kameshki. That was quite unexpected. So maybe in the final Erangel game, one of these teams will change their top location. And it should be Team MVP because they are winning this fight against Team Roscar RS and they're making a statement. Never ever try to step on our ground. That is Golden steps up, knocks down a player. Immediately he gets knocked out and Daniel was a final ray of hope. Even he will get eliminated. And Roscar RS gets eliminated with absolutely nothing. No point out of this game. Roscar RS gets eliminated on 18th position. That will be a 0-pointer for them. So definitely not a positive start in the grand finals. And all eyes on match number 2. That is going to be Rondo. Either Rondo or Miramar. But Rondo can definitely turn up a comeback map for Team Roscar RS. We'll keep an eye on them. Alpha Esports Pop Bro. He just wants to take revenge for his teammates. And he's about to clutch a 1v4. Spicy Scott thought that Mr. Pop Bro headed to his safe areas, but very smartly he just stepped a bit behind and climbed up that roof. And then he attacked Spicy Squad, giving them another casualty in the name of Silas. Suazo is the final ray of hope inside that compound for Team Spicy Squad. And now Mr. Pop Bro, he is pushing in. He's pressing hard on Team Spicy Squad. He just doesn't want to give up. Good loadout, by the way. A S12K and a QBZ. Pretty balanced combination. But I feel like multiple teams can travel from this particular area. But no, nobody is traveling. Yeah, the circle is favoring the north, so definitely nobody's going to utilize the farm strip to rotate. If circle was favoring the east, they probably would have utilized the farm strip to rotate. But since the circle is favoring the north, farm strip is kind of useless. Seeker gets knocked out. Voice is the final player surviving. So both Team RS trembled in the early stages. But Team Roscar Prime, they made a really good start in this game. But despite of that, Gamers United Force making a sharp comeback. And the only reason behind that is Team Roscar Prime taking too much initiative in this fight as well. I mean, they took the initiative to breach school. Gamers United Force, they just kept on sitting. Dealt some incredible sprays. And that's the reason why Roscar Prime is not just surviving with just one player, Voisu. But can he save his team from this big humiliation of getting eliminated early? There's still a chance that he can pull off a 1v2. He has a S12K, and whenever you have a shot and you get a boon to clutch. Even he has 2 grenades right now. So a lot can happen. Tables might turn. Render gets knocked out. Voisu with a fabulous grenade. And now I feel like 223. He has the threat of getting eliminated, but that grenade won't make those fine connections on 223. Voisu now using his Molotov. 223 escapes. Is he going to push in? Well, Voisu needs to push. He needs to push in as soon as possible. And he won't even heal himself. He's pushing in. 223 might use his pixel peaks to tackle Voisu. Pixel peak. Oh my goodness, Voisu just passed that S2K and he celebrates just like that. Gamers United Force falls short and they're eliminated on 17th position. What a play by Voisu, by the way. A magnificent play. And on 17th position, Gamers United Force will see their end. Even I didn't see it coming. Stage 2 has just initiated, ladies and gentlemen, a northeastern shift by the circle. Most of the teams are prioritizing the center of the circle. And pretty obvious that was. Team HC. Well, they have a really good height advantage. And a split maintained too. And I guess that's Team Elite Esports, who are passing by from a very close area. Suazo will be eliminated. Popro eliminates Team Spicy Squad single-handedly. And it will be a 1v4 for him. But even Popro got taken down, maybe because of a third party. And that's it. Even Alpha Esports gets eliminated. Popro with a big accomplishment. 1v4 against Spicy Squad. TRX. They are bordering Team Reset. Reset Esports. But they need a reset now. Dipsy is the final player surviving. They won't be able to get one. Dipsy just has to survive. Withdraw by Team Reset. And where is Dipsy gonna head now? Maybe Dipsy will just stay on the edge of the circle. Mega Par. Are they still finishless? Yes. Still finishless. Team MP is. They dropped in Fairy Pier. Healthy rotation, by the way, by Team Mega Par. And the amount of loot they've collected, utilizing the western edge. And I feel like this is their daily routine whenever the circle favors the north. This is their usual pathway which they utilize to enter the circle, the western highway. Maybe they are flexible, and according to the situation, according to the game, according to the lobby, they change their pathways. But I feel like the way they're rotating right now, this was a pre-planned rotation, and they are habitual of rotating this way, utilizing the western edge to reach the circle. And by stage 3, maybe they will enter the circle. It shouldn't be a problem for them. And by the time they reach circle, more teams will get eliminated. So maybe they'll pounce for them. Elite Esports' logos have been caught in open. His vehicle will get damaged. The vehicle has been exploded. Molotovs bothering him. Logos needs to step a bit behind. Brothers in Arms, by the way, lost Spy and Goru in the very early stages of this game. This time, Legend goes for a grenade, finds no connection, goes for another one, again misses. And Logos now needs a lift. Daisy needs to go in as soon as possible, and then he needs to collect his teammate. But Elite East was going to think about attacking Brothers in Arms. Can that happen? Because definitely Elite Esports, they need eliminations. It's been high time. And even Brothers in Arms, they have numbers disadvantage. By this time, Elite Esports must have collected all the information they wanted. That their opponents, Brothers in Arms, are just playing with 2 players. Elite Esports have all the Infinity Stones to fight Team Brothers in Arms. But still, that hesitation is stopping them from doing that. Stage 3 is about to begin. Centralized shift by the circle for NF. Well, they have a fabulous position inside the circle, and they have to be prepared now because a lot of teams are going to try to breach their compound. They have to protect their pixels, by the way. No unnecessary peaks, no mishappenings. The margin of error is too low. No mistakes should happen. That's the only way 4NF is winning this game. No finish till now for 4NF. But now there is a chance for them. They just have to keep their eyes open. They're going to see a lot of teams traveling from the nearby areas. Just good vehicle tracing, good piece of work, and give them a lot of eliminations. And very smartly now, 4NF just maintaining his split. But Clow, he's in a big danger. Because I feel like if any team executes a slamming on that garage, Clow will be isolated. And the other 3 players won't be able to cover him well. And TRX as well, keeping an eye on 4NF from the other side. It's Clown trying to get out of it in the guard. TRX will call it here. Now, knocks down Prophet. Listens that gets knocked out by Gabriel. Dual openings created by 4NF, but are they going to step out of their compound to get those confirmations? Simi knocks down Vision. 4NF gets the confirmation. Gabriel gets the confirmation. Lisica. Yeah, within a fraction of a second, TRX, I guess they're eliminated or they face 3 casualties. I guess they face 3 casualties. They're not completely eliminated from this game. Matic. Yeah, he's the final player surviving. So, a disaster for Team TRX. At one moment, they were in such a strong position, but all of a sudden, they fell on their face. All of a sudden, TRX, they're down to just 1 player. So, that is going to be heartbreaking for them. Matic will just try to stay on the edge. Calm and compose Matic. Let's see how much he can carry his team. 4 RS, 4 RVS. A lot of teams, by the way, playing in a very steady manner. Very slowly, teams are proceeding towards the next stage. There are a lot of teams who haven't even secured a single elimination till now. And if you talk about Team 4 Rivals, yeah, they are one of them. They'll be joining that list. And I've never seen this environment being so much peaceful. The Erangel environment being so much peaceful. I mean, there's so much bloodshed happening in the early stages, and the people watching right now can relate with that. Especially in the especially in the European lobbies. I mean, Western European lobbies and Eastern European lobbies. Seen a lot of fights happening in the early stages. Basically, I'm an Indian caster, so this kind of stuff I don't see much from European lobbies. Teams playing passively in the very first game. I usually see a lot of aggression. In Indian lobbies, teams are a bit cautious in the early stages, and they go out guns blazing after third circle just to seek eliminations. But now things have changed in Indian lobbies as well. So in Indian lobbies too, a lot of fights happen in the early stages of the game. Whether it's the first game or it's the second game, it doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter. Very early stages, start fighting and start doing eliminations. But this game has been completely opposite. 39 players and 13 teams in Stage 3. Stage 4 has just initiated, and now that is a big number, by the way, for a circle this small. Just Stage 4, just 3 teams are inside the circle. 4NF now. The conviction which they had will be faded off because 4NF is eventually now on the edge of the circle, on the western edge. And there are very small chances that the upcoming shift will favor 4NF. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have any prediction from this game, if you guys have any predictions from this game, you can surely drop those predictions in the live chat. I want to see who has the most amount of game sense. And Brothers in Arms, finally they'll get eliminated. It's 6 Esports. It was a 2v2 fight, but 6 Esports couldn't collect those frags. Who did then? Whoa. I guess that is Team RRG. Yeah, that was Team RRG who'll be eliminating the Brothers in Arms. 2 teams for them. HZ in nearby areas. HZ, they're keeping an eye on Team RRG. They've heard the gunshots coming in. HZ is on high alert. But RRG is moving pretty peacefully. Nobody's bothering them while they're moving. Such a smooth rotation by RRG, and they'll find themselves a shack. And immediately those vehicles will start getting mauled by 4NF. But a Mirado is completely useless. It's better to just burst it and make a cover out of it. Yes, breathing space by the way for RRG, but they're right in the center of the circle. But if any team accesses this ridge, which is right in front of their eyes, it's going to be game over for RRG. And it might happen if eventually RRG, if RRG in the near future is on the edge of the circle, then definitely teams are going to try to access that ridge and attack that same shack. So RRG, they have to be careful. They have to stop teams from closing in to attack on the range. Voisu will get eliminated. Voisu's reign comes to an end. Just like that, Team Roscar Prime gets eliminated on 12th position. Wow, MVP. ORWL. Oral, I guess that name is. 6 Esports falls short. Ocean is in the final lane of the coffin. Moise get eliminated, and just like that, 6 Esports gets eliminated on 10th position. 4RVS has no clue what is happening around them. They didn't notice MVP fighting in a wide open area. They didn't do third party. And MVP Esports now, they came so much closer, but they will just mind their own business. MVP Esports, they're on the edge of the circle. Their vehicle is getting damaged this early. It will be problematic for them because later on they won't be able to move. Rotation is going to be a problem for them the later on stages of the game. Stage 5, Eastern shift by the circle. 4NF now, they're out of the circle. RRG still hanging in, but I feel like now Team MP, that is Mega Power, they might attack RRG. Rick has already closed in. Request is already closed in, so this is the moment we were waiting for. This is the exact moment I predicted. RRG on the edge of the circle, and any team might just conquer this ridge and try to take down RRG. And Team Mega Power will turn up that attacking team. 4NF might stab them in their backs. They have to be careful. They need to keep an eye on 4NF as well, because 4NF, like a silent killer, will move in and MP wouldn't even get to know. So that shouldn't happen. 4RVS goes for a full-fledged war with Team MVP. Solid Team MVP, they maintained a split. 4RVS Esports, they got attacked by multiple angles, from multiple angles. Eventually Killer is the final player surviving, and he's just trying to find a spot for himself, but he isn't getting one. And finally he heads on to MVP will get damaged. MVP eliminates Team 4RVS on 8th position. And now we have the 17th and total amount of 25 players. Private. Let's keep that revival well for NF. Yeah, they move in. Request is out. Sheriff, final player surviving. Mega Power. Just keeping their eyes open, their ears open. I can't say that Mega Power had no clue about what was happening around them. But they just got over. They got outnumbered. That's the reason why they face so much amount of casualties. Sheriff will get eliminated by Team MVP. 4NF. NWR closes in. Maybe that's a 3-4 fight, but Unreal knocks down Cloud. Straight steps down. Takes down a player. But Thomas won't make a mistake. And Nightmare didn't even get knocked out. But now he gets knocked out. And it's Team RRG. What a control by Team RRG. That's unreal. To get knocked out by that grenade. Slazy moves in, puts in the final lane in the coffin, eliminates. NWR comes back and revives both of his teammates. That's savage, isn't it? Wow. Slazy becomes a savior for his team. RRG still hanging in, but they need to wrap it up quickly because they have to move. Blue Zone started moving in, and even if you have to compromise with the player, do it. Because this winner chicken dinner is more important. Placement points are more important. But RRG is won by the Blue Zone. The Blue Zone engulfs RRG. RRG gets eliminated. So we are left with just 3 teams and 9 players. Slazy got taken down, by the way, by Team both the players. Rest of the players got knocked out by Blue Zone and eliminated because of the Blue Zone. Stoney is the final player surviving. There goes But he's behind that buggy. Potion goes for the grenade. Might not find the amount of connections on Team Elite Esports, because Elite Esports has still kept up the distance. Team MVP. MVP needs to do a better job here. Potion especially. He's the one now leading his team from front. He's the guy closest to Team Elite, and Eclipse finally will make those valuable connections. Logos gets knocked down. And Potion now just needs to put in the final nail in the coffin. It's J1? Yeah, it's J1. Still breathing. Still somehow he's trying to survive. Elite Esports couldn't get last one. Potion eliminates J1. And Team HZ, Stony, attacks Potion. A 1v2 is left, and is it possible? Is Tony inside the circle? No, not really. He doesn't even have a helmet. So just one headshot connection. Oral trying to move in close. Team MVP doesn't really need to do anything extra, but if Stony somehow manages to knock down Oral, oh what? My goodness! It is all over! What a clutch and what a winner chicken dinner! Hell no! You gotta be kidding me! How did he do that? How did he do that? Stony! I guess this is the best clutch I've ever seen in my life. And how can someone come up with this? God damn it. Wow, that was a clean sweep. Grenade was right on target, knocking down Oral, and then Stony with a good peek. Good left peek and an accurate spray with just few bullets. Oh boy, what a strike. It's time to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be right back with match number 2. Till then, like, subscribe. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for match number 2, and it's Miramar time, the most toughest map to play, the map of discipline. You can name it anything. But yeah, it is the most toughest map to play, in my opinion. Flight path initiates from the north of Little Mar, finishing off towards Campo Militar, favoring the center of Miramar. It's difficult to head towards the northwest, it's difficult to head towards the southeast of Miramar. But definitely teams can focus on accessing the center. Well, multiple teams are heading towards Little Mar and even Minas del Sur. We might see a drop clash from Chumacera as well. We might see a drop clash at Monte Nuevo. Well, Monte Nuevo is sort of a popular drop location, but no team is accessing it. There's a huge surprise. Two teams heading towards Monte Nuevo, 6 Esports, and Alpha Esports might fight early. And again, Alpha Esports were being indulged in a early fight, and they have to be careful this time. They shouldn't be losing players early. Last game wasn't that great for them. And just like this time as well, this time they faced a drop clash in the last game. So they have to be careful. They don't... it's not important. It's not necessary to fight early. If they can just back off and play this game carefully. First circle favoring the center of Miramar, basic circle. Most of the teams are inside the circle. Gamers United Force had a sad ending in the last game. Got clutched 1v2. And who are they stepping up against? Who are they fighting against? It's Team 18. Brothers in Arms. Last game wasn't that great for Brothers in Arms. They did have eliminations, but those eliminations were not enough. In this game, new player showing up for Brothers in Arms. It's going to be Ninja. So let's see if he can be impactful for Brothers in Arms or not. But for now, he's trying to create a flank angle. He's trying to attack Team Gamers United Force from the sidelines. He has to be careful that he has just 60 ammo in his 60 bullets in his Scarrel. He doesn't even have a secondary option. So if he gets spotted, that's like a one-time chance he has. And he has to deal. Aspect almost crushed Ninja. He steps down. And Aspect, that was a bad move. Definitely. And Aspect must be regretting. There was no need to jump out of the vehicle. Ninja will surely finish him. But now it's even more difficult for Ninja to step out of here. To get out of here and to escape. Gamers United Force, they're rapidly closing in. Great move by Ninja. They didn't make a mistake. But Zenak, I feel like he is going to stab Ninja in his back. Creates a wide angle. And Ninja is so much lucky that he has a cover. But maybe now Render. Yeah, definitely. Render knocks down Ninja. And this was going to happen. Brothers in Arms, Gamers United Force, both of them will be losing players early. The Gamers United Force didn't get the confirmation yet. Didn't get the frag. Render gets knocked out in between. Zenak has to step back. And maybe Ninja will get the rev. Because Zenak has fallen back. So there is a chance to revive Ninja. And Brothers in Arms, Legend is going to definitely utilize that one chance. One opportunity to save his teammate. So both the teams will get a reset. But Gamers United Force, they will have a numbers disadvantage. NWR passing by from a nearby area. And NWR wants to check out. Maybe NWR will give their touch in this fight. And it's going to be exciting to see if NWR participates too. Then it will be a triple threat fight. How did NWR lead so early? And they even started rotating. Gamers United Force's Zanak now gets caught. But I'm wondering how NWR collected loot so early and they even started rotating. Wow, that was very quick. And NWR playing with discipline, sincerely just trying to access the center of the circle. And Miramar, it's always difficult to rotate in this map. That is the reason why NWR is taking so much precautions. Is trying to access the center of the circle. But now they're heading towards Team Brothers in Arms. They're not done yet. I feel like they want more eliminations. They didn't give up yet. They're still trying to look for more chances. so that they can add more eliminations before leaving the circle. As Goru gets caught. In Brothers in Arms, they didn't look alert at all. I mean, maybe they didn't know about NWR now catching them from their backs. They didn't expect that NWR would catch them from their backs. It was too much unexpected for Team Brothers in Arms. Legend gets knocked out. Thomas, 2014, puts down Legend. Down goes Legend and Brothers in Arms. And they are completely devastated. Down to 2 players. Even Gamers United Force is down to 2 players. NWR is going to close in. And they have to keep one thing in mind. They shouldn't get sandwiched between both these teams. DRG17 might get bothered as he's so much isolated, so NWR might go for a full-fledged slamming on DRG17. A change in plans by NWR. No more fighting. NWR is going to head towards the center of the circle maybe now. They won't waste more time. Alpha Esports versus 6 Esports. Alpha gets the height advantage. And this is the exact place where that nasty reflex we saw, and Alpha was the victim. That popular reel, M249 reflex. I don't know if you guys know it. I was the caster, by the way. I was the guy who was casting. And Alpha was the guy who got cooked. He had a ASM. Now he has a AKM, so... all moist. Surprises Alpha. But Alpha won't be able to hide himself behind that wooden box. And as always, Alpha getting more on the bridge. Again, that same thing happening. Moise is going to finish him. So tit for tat, 6 Esports. Now they're going to give Alpha Esports their second casualty of the game. So just like the last game, Alpha Esports losing their players in the early stages. Now they've lost 2. Moise has to be careful. Moise has to be careful. Alpha is getting all the cover in this war from his teammates. So he cannot afford to get knocked out just to finish Alpha. He cannot even take risk. So much frustrating it must have been for DRG17. His grenade didn't go out first. He got low by his own grenade and then he got knocked out. Nothing is going right for Team Brothers in Arms. So Ninja has to lead his team. NWR might try bothering Team Gamers United Force. Even Gamers United Force didn't get a chance to sneak out of Chimasera. They're still here. They're still waiting. Suya gets knocked out. Gets finished. So Alpha Esports, another early elimination for them. And they'll become the first team to get eliminated from this Miramar game. Stage 2, a centralized shift. Megapar. They're in Picado. Sebastian gets cooked. That's MVP. And who are they fighting against? Is it Spicy Squad? 3 elims, by the way. And there was 4NF. They made a change. They added Sebastian. But nothing is going to change for 4NF. I mean, they were better in the last game. Here in Miramar, they failed miserably. 4NF gets eliminated on 18th position. 4RVS as well, they're into a fight. Killer is the final player remaining. And he's surrounded by 2 teams. Roscar RS and Team RRG. He's going to give us everything, by the way, to win this fight. But RRG, a big numbers advantage they have, and Killer will get eliminated. This is a golden opportunity for Roscar RS to capitalize. Slazy is already low, but he heals himself immediately. MVP Esports on the back and rear areas. They started closing in. MVP Esports, I guess they're just rotating, but after hearing the gunshots, maybe they'll check out. Malio stops Goblin while he was rotating. And that was a surprise indeed for Team MVP. Is Oral the final player surviving? I guess he is. Well, Team MVP had a great performance in the last game. They got hashtag 2. They got clutched in the end circle. A 1v3. And they lost their control on that game and they didn't get a winner chicken dinner. I guess MVP was just too much casual after finding that they were too much overpowered in the end circle. But they still got manhandled. They still got clutched. And now Salt on the Wound, losing play early in this Miramar game. Never ever underestimate your opponents, by the way, in the first place. Team MVP Esports did that. Then things just kept on falling. Daniel gets knocked out. That is Oral. Daniel will be sent back to the lobby and Team Roscar RS. It's Golden who has the final ray of hope. Final play breathing for Team Roscar Prime. Milio stabs him in his back. And Golden just rushes towards that warehouse, but he won't be able to reach on time. Morgan puts him to sleep and Roscar RS. Now back-to-back 2 eliminations in the early stages for Team Roscar RS. And they need to figure out what's really going wrong. Because half grand finals have ended and now just 2 games are remaining. And if they don't find out what's really wrong with them, they're going to just play the remaining 2 games for formality. It's not going to work that way at all. Stage 3 is about to begin, ladies and gentlemen. And Megapar, they were in Picado, but now they stepped out maybe of Picado. Straight away heading towards that big ridge. And I guess that is a good decision taken by Team Megapar. Stage 3 benefits them. Moves for Eastern Shift. Megapar, by the way, they are not having a very good position inside the circle. They're just on the edge. And it completely depends on Team Megapar. Are they going to move now or they're just going to stay here? Now Team MVP. Right when they were about to move, Roscar Prime will be seen by them moving. And MVP Esports, they're keeping an eye on Team RH too. Team RRG, RH Academy. And MVP Esports just decides to keep up the peace. Just decides to mind their own business. But eventually now the situation turns out to be a sandwich situation for Team MVP. But definitely Roscar Prime is not stopping here. Potion with an outstanding spray along with Oral. Great teamwork. Seikyo will be eliminated. Roscar Prime down to 3. And now the real action begins. Roscar Prime, after their first casualty, can they bounce back? This is where reality hits you. Everything is going well. Every piece is falling in the right place. You're getting eliminations. The game is moving smoothly, but then all of a sudden, a spray out of nowhere comes in, and then you lose a player. Now, the ultimate challenge for Team Roscar Prime is bouncing back. And can they do that? Can they make that happen? Because they've already messed up in the first game. Now they have to be serious from this one, especially Miramar. And Miramar is their strength. I've seen them performing well in Miramar so many times. TRX versus NWR. Thomas came in flying like a Superman, which numbers him. Now 1v1 against Unreal, but Nightmare from the sidelines ends vision. NWR, they're on a different mission right now. They want to do a genocide on this map of Miramar. 9 elims they have. And there's nobody, no team who can stop Team NWR at this point. I mean, they went to Chumasera and they mauled 2 teams, Gamers United Force and Brothers in Arms. Both the teams at the same time. And here now in a head-to-head fight against Team TRX, they'll be winning with absolute ease. Thomas, he definitely overcommitted. And he got paid for that. He received a receipt for that, for his overcommitting. But he will be saved. TRX couldn't give NWR a casualty. They fought 3 teams till now, and nobody could give them a casualty. And this is probably the first time one of the players got knocked out. That's the amount of domination Team NWR has established in this Miramar game. Significant amount of eliminations they have, that is 9. And maybe they'll just slow down the pace of the game. Or if they don't, by the end of this game, they might have double-digit elims, maybe 2 dozen elims they might have, if they continue to play with the same pace, if they continue to do what what they've been doing till now. HZE surprises Gamers United Force. But getting into San Martin was a safe decision by Gamers United Force, but they didn't expect that HZ would also get into San Martin. Uncertainty on peak. And Gamers United Force, now they're down to just 1 player, 223. Reset, HZ. These 2 teams are fighting. NWR steps up in between. But NWR is just trying to rotate. Circle moves for a northern shift. This is stage 4, ladies and gentlemen. And a big cluster near San Martin. And obviously Circle is going to be San Martin. That is going to happen sooner or later. But all the teams that are deep inside San Martin, how are they going to manage to rotate? Especially Team HZ Esports. There's so many teams around them. HZ Esports will need to pull off a miracle to rotate. Because getting out of San Martin now is a big task. Spicy scored. They're on. Silas gets knocked out. A negative start. Team Spicy scored. MVP Potion. His vehicle is being damaged. And is MVP Potion the final player remaining? Or whichever team plays well in the very first game fumbles in the very next one. So MVP Esports, they have that ultimate threat of getting eliminated early. They've already lost Goblin. Potion was targeted, but MVP Esports still having the control on this game. They got #2 in the last one. HG Esports, they got winner winner chicken dinner by the barest of mans. That was Stoney. He pulled off that miracle. But seriously, to be honest, HZ Esports, it's very difficult for them to get out of this mess. They have to rotate right now, because if Stage 5 ditches them, Blue Zone becomes more aggressive. And HZ Esports, they won't be able to face the damage of the blue. So they'll have to go through all these teams that are in front of their eyes, especially Team Reset. And they won't even have enough time to knock down players, create a opening, and then go for a textbook slamming. TikTok Kata knocks down Suzuao. Suazo's out. Letra and Les the God. 7th elim, by the way, for Team MVP. Just like the last game, MVP starting off early, getting good eliminations, keeping up the pace. Sort of a deja vu. But what happened in the end of the last game shouldn't happen this time if they reach the end circle. Definitely. That is a big humiliation for Team MVP. Big disgust as well. They must be so much disappointed after what happened at the end of the last game. But yeah, you learn from your mistakes. That's what differentiates a normal team, a good team from a normal team. Carrick is the final player, by the way, for Team 8. And he has spotted. Carrick eliminates a player, but Oral eliminates Carrick. MVP Esports gets their 9th elimination. Now 8 teams and a total of 23 players are alive. Reset loses a player. Extreme is out. Did Team HZ straight away go for a slamming on Team Reset? No, not yet. Circle is still favoring them. Circle moves for a Western shift again. HZ Esports still feels the privilege. They're still being favored by the Circle. And now RTG ZX of Team MP Mega Power will be boarded. And this is a sort of a chance for Team Reset to capitalize, as one of the players of Team Mega Power has been knocked out. BCG Pro knocks down Simi again. Again, Team Reset gets a chance. Maybe they're not able to read the Finnish feed well. That is what is stopping them from attacking Team Mega Power. MVP Esports shows up. And MVP Esports might fight Team HZ. But they secure a small dip for themselves. HZ is gonna bombard this place. MVP is gonna have a very hard time, especially inside a dip. Tanking grenades is a hell of a task. Potion gets knocked out. RH Esports from the back. HZ Esports from the front. MVP is cooked here. But they're still trying to fight back. Enough amount of smokes have been deployed. MVP Esports has enough amount of hard covers. The smokes for just distracting their opponents. Morgan gets knocked out, clips with an outstanding grenade, and this is going to give MVP a lot of hopes and strength to fight back against Team RH Esports. Melio will get eliminated. Slazy is the final player surviving, although Melio didn't get eliminated, he just got knocked out. Clips now somehow. He breaches that building, he gets inside the circle too. RH Academy, after doing hard work, after doing the hardest work, that is reviving all the players, they have to enter the circle from the same pathway which Team MVP utilized. MVP is definitely going to gatekeep the circle of Team RH. So entering the circle is not at all easy. BCG Pro with an outstanding grenade. MVP Esports will be welcomed inside the circle by Team HZ. Clips gets the rev. No, Team HZ, they're going after Team RSP. I'm sorry for the confusion, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. HZ, they are bothering Team Roscar Prime, and Team Roscar Prime will get eliminated. HZ now gets 6 elims for them. And they have the circle control. By the way, circle goes for a centralized shift, so HZ, they're still out of the circle, but it's so easy for them to enter the circle. Not at all difficult from this position, I guess. NWR took a big break. Long time ago they had 9 elims. After that they could just get 1. Long break for NWR, but now it's time to fight. It's time to show who's the real boss. Unreal. Oh my lord! He still deals a shot! That was Thomas. And Unreal takes down the final play. I thought that Unreal took down the first one, but no. That was Thomas who had his teammates back. Wow. Unreal's heart definitely skipped a beat. But MVP Esports will get eliminated on position. That was something new by Team MVP. But that didn't really help them out. 4 teams, 13 players. Twist in the story, Rio gets knocked out. It's a wide open area. It's difficult to revive Rio. RAG Esports capitalizing. And are they going for a slam? And yes, definitely they are going for a slam in. And just like the last game, Stoney has to save his team again. Melio spams that S12K. BCG Pro gets knocked out. Slazy gets knocked out. Melio knocks down Stoney. Melio now trying to heal up himself. Team HZ, they need to utilize their utilities, but they don't have any. Mate doesn't have any. Rio doesn't have any. So they have to bear these 2 casualties. Blue Zone is coming in too and is mauling HZ Esports. Rio losing his HP. Morgan knocks him from the sidelines. Mate might go for a heal battle. Morgan doesn't know about Mate. And Morgan now completely focusing on Team Megapa. It's a 2 versus 1 scenario. Mate will just show trigger discipline. He's gonna wait for the correct opportunity, for the right opportunity, and then he's gonna unleash. But Mate will get caught. Maybe that was Morgan who switched the seat. That was Melio. Craig gets knocked out. Morgan now needs to go for that one final battle. It's Simi. And he has a grenade in his hands. But right on time, Simi will be taken down. And it is all over. Team RAG Esports gets a good winner chicken dinner for themselves. A tremendous amount of eliminations. Wow. 16 elims and a winner chicken dinner. So 26 points out of the single game. This game is going to make the position more better on the points table. The competition is still alive, ladies and gentlemen. The results go by this. Match number 2 of Roscar W6 Finals. It's time to take a short break, by the way. And we'll be right back with match number 3. Till then, like, subscribe. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for match number 3, and we're heading towards the map of Rondo this time. It's Jadana City, the starting part of the flight path. Flight path will be finishing off towards Ryan, favoring the east of Rondo, but two drop locations will be the prime focus of teams: New York's Factory and Yulin. It's difficult to access Yulin, by the way. Teams are going to face a lot of trouble to access Yulin, and maybe teams won't even try to access Yulin. All the teams will shift their focus onto New York's Factory. Multiple teams, by the way, all those teams who are not in contention will maybe play this game just for fun, just to spend time just for the formality. They'll play this game. Gamers United foes, first two games, not that great. They need a big game now. They need to convert this Rondo into a big game aspect. Dropping on the terrace of the New York's factory, the main factory of the New Yorks, he didn't even find a weapon. He's running for his life. Where is he gonna run? Well, his teammates are right next to him. The problem is he didn't even find a weapon till now. And I just want to keep on watching him. Will he find a vehicle? Will he find a weapon for himself? No, maybe he won't be able to. Maybe an eternity later. One eternity later, he'll find a weapon. And by the time all his teammates have been eliminated. So much unlucky. If he had got a weapon, maybe his teammates would have lived. Maybe his teammates could have lived. But he couldn't find a weapon for himself. So it all changed. Ocean gets knocked out too. What a clutch! What a clutch! Killer saves the day for 4RVS. They still have the recall, and they can still get more eliminations. Wow, Roscar Prime is fired up. 4 eliminations for them. Great way to start. Nobody didn't even dare to step out. Oh wow, he was holding his fire. He knocks out too. As a striker reloads, now he has to rely on that Thompson, and he was the final player surviving, and Stoney wasn't gonna give him a chance to clutch against Team HZ. Stoney ends him. And Roscar Prime, after getting a great start in this rondo, they'll get eliminated early. They'll get eliminated on 18th position. And maybe they became the first team to get eliminated from this game. Team IRL, at least in this rondo, can they do something which they can just help to farm them aura? Can they do something which can really do aura farming for them? Can really help them to farm some aura for themselves. Yenko gets knocked out. Minus 999 aura now with this 1v2 against Team IRL. But 8 healers for Team IRL, by the way. Great performance by Team IRL in the recover phase of Rondo. And they need a big game. They need a big game if they want to make a comeback on the points table. They can't get satisfied with just 8 elims, by the way. Team Relevant. Well, it should have been irrelevant, but the name is relevant. Since it's IRL in the name, should have been irrelevant, but Stadium, still Team 6 is in Stadium. Maybe they regrouped in Stadium Circle. Clearing the east of Rondo, NWR. They're having a good position inside the circle, right at the center they are. So they must be praying that the circle should keep on favoring them. If that happens, NWR can win this game with that good position inside the circle. And even in the last game, I mean, NWR, they had good amount of eliminations. Just because they didn't have circle advantage, circle privilege, they had to get eliminated. But if NWR had circle advantage in the last game, I feel like the way they were playing, definitely they could have got a winner chicken dinner. HZ, just Tony is the guy who is in the fighting zone. And he's being so much cautious. He's controlling his footsteps. He's not giving any idea to his opponents about his presence. And now he's going to fight Team Brothers in Arms. They entered New York's factory late, maybe. Brothers in Arms went towards a isolated drop. They headed towards a different drop location. They collected loot and now they graced New York's factory with their presence. They wanted to fight less teams. Oh, Stoney gives up immediately. He got outnumbered completely. Brothers in Arms taking over New York's factory. They just had to fight one opponent. They'll do it very easily. Now, Stoney needs a recall. Team HZ needs to focus on bringing him back into the game. And I hope they succeed. Stoney is the man. I mean, he's hard carrying his team at this point. 4 eliminations out of 8. Team RH, they're continuously losing their players. How many teams have been eliminated from this game? Multiple teams. And it's just stage 2. And now we're going to witness stage 3. Soon we're going to witness stage 3. Spicy Squad versus 4NF. Clow is very much low and Clow gets finished. 4NF now, surviving with just 3 players. And Uli's, well, he is, his position is not revealed. Spicy Squad doesn't know about his presence. So, he's in a very crucial situation. But finally, Spicy Squad gets to know. Letra gets knocked out. Oh, wow! Elise almost executed a 1v2 because he dealt tremendous amount of damage on Lester as well. But he couldn't knock him down. But Lester getting eliminated because of the blue zone. Spicy Squad gets eliminated on 15 position. 4NF lives. And 4NF gets 2 more frags. Stage 3 has just initiated. Circle moves for an Eastern shift. Team Elite. A really good position inside the circle. Now NWR has to work hard and enter the circle. They have to execute a big rotation. And whenever you rotate at a crucial time, like this, in stage 3, stage 4, you always have the risk of getting eliminated. That's why predicting the circle early becomes very much crucial. And the team which successfully predicts the circle, I guess, ends up being benefited by the circle a lot. So if you enter the circle early and if you're not rotating at a crucial time, especially after stage 4, you're in the right spot. And you're putting yourself in very less risk. MVP Esports, Ivy Limbs. They've eliminated another team. Goblin has been eliminated. Does he have a record? If he does, MVP Esports needs to find a record beacon. Need to bring him back to the game. 4NF Esports, they're far away from the circle. They need to increase the pace of the rotation. Stoney will be recalled back. Well, a big drive phase for Team HZ. But they are being consistent in the last game as well. Team HZ, I guess they got #3. Winner, chicken in, and then a #3. They're just swimming against the tide, going against the factors. First game, they had #1. Winner, chicken in, and the whole credit, goes to Stoney for that clutch. It was an impossible situation, but Stoney clutched. That was a clutch of a lifetime by Stoney, and he got the job done for his team with a winner chicken dinner. And then last game, #3, definitely Team HZ, they're ahead of the table. They're on #1. There were so many teams in the first Ranger games who had more eliminations as compared to Team HZ. So HZ had a close call on the points table. But after the #3 which they fetched out in match number 2, now they have #1 in a more convincing way. So no doubts in their minds. No insecurities, no second thoughts. HZ has #1 in dominating fashion. BCG Pro has been eliminated, so HZ has to bear a casualty. Stage 4 has just initiated. Circle moves for a sudden shift, and it seems like Circle is following Team HZ. Wherever Team HZ moves, Circle follows them. In the last game as well, they were holding a very unexpected position, a position where Circle wouldn't have really favored them. They were in San Martin, and Circle kept on going for northwestern shifts, western shifts, favoring Team HZ here as well. Team HZ, they were in the south of the circle, and Circle moves for a sudden shift. HZ now is deep inside the circle, and they're fighting Team Reset. But yeah, this has been a factor that Circle keeps on following Team HZ. In the first game as well, seems like Team HZ has decoded the movement of the circle. They've cracked it, the formula. And they're predicting Circle so well. Seems like they know where the upcoming shift is going to go. 6 Esports didn't have a really great day. First game got eliminated early. Faced casualties. 2 casualties in the early stages. And then Miramar wasn't that great for Team 6 Esports. And here in Rondo, 5 Williams they got a decent start. 2 of the players have been knocked out now, and it's NWR in front of them. They can't do much. Thomas gets knocked out, by the way. So NWR, they still are going to face a challenge from Team 6 Esports. Thomas got knocked out because of the blue zone. He got so much low that he got knocked out. NWR didn't even look at him after him getting knocked out. Are they even trying to save their teammate? Is there a chance that NWR is going to save Thomas? Maybe they're first trying to deal with Team 6 Esports and then they'll try to revive their teammate Thomas. 6 is the final player surviving. And yeah, Team 6 Esports will be dealt with by Team NWR pretty well. And 6 now doesn't even have a HP. He has nothing. Just one bullet connection is needed. Uh-oh, Thomas is out of this game. Nightmare gets knocked out. Psycho is knocked out too. So Unreal is the final player surviving. Things got worse for NWR and Unreal will be smashed by Defect. So that's it. NWR gets eliminated on 12th position. 11 teams and 27 players are now alive. Circle moves for Eastern Shift MVP. Circle is kind of favoring them. HC Esports has to move a bit, but they need to wrap up this fight as soon as possible. Lizica is out. TRX gets eliminated. HC keeps on, will keep on getting more and more frags for them. And now, a dozen of elims they have. Probably the highest amount of elims. If any teams are secured, that will be Team HC. In this rondo, yeah, definitely in terms of elims, they are the head of the table. But now, Team IRL will overtake them. And they are one elim ahead of Team HC. So if any team is topping the table of elimination points, it's definitely Team IRL. Or the overall points as well. Not the overall points, but yeah, in this game, when a team is table topping the points, the overall, the match standings, it's Team IRL. They need to keep up the numbers advantage, Team Relevant. If they want to be relevant in the last Irango game, they need to get this winner chicken in at any cost. This is like a do-or-die situation for Team Relevant. Only a winner chicken dinner now works for them. If they don't get it, if they don't get the bonus 10 points, Irango is not going to make any kind of sense for them. Even the winner chicken dinner won't really help them out to reach the podium. And now it's finally time to fight the final boss, that is Team HC. Team Relevant will be stabbed in the backs by Team Megapar. Rio puts down the final player and down goes Team IRL. So not even hashtag 8 they'll be getting. Not even a single placement point out of this game. Reset will get eliminated by Rio, and Team HZ, they're everywhere. Seems like they've written the name on every frag. What a performance by Team HZ. Simi. Even Simi is exposed. Maybe HZ now is planning about attacking Simi. Simi will be taken down by Stony. So now 15 eliminations for Team HZ. Mega Power gets eliminated on 6th position. Circle now ditches Team HZ right when they needed the circle advantage the most. Elite Esports. They have different struggles now. They are being bothered by the blue zone. They are struggling a lot to settle down. 7 elims they have. Decent amount of eliminations. Brothers in Arms. Eventually now they're the center of attraction. 2 teams bothering Brothers in Arms at the same time. DRG 17 will get the rev. No need to worry. Sebastian, the final player of 47X. 4NX. 4NX made a big change in the last game. And they continued with it. And it's 4NF. 4NF made a big change in the last game. That was adding Sebastian. And now Sebastian is in a position where he has a chance to justify the decision of Team 4NF by performing, by carrying his team. Well, he's stuck inside that shack. Good thing is that he is still present inside the circle. Team Elite has to move. Sebastian definitely in a situation of clutch. J9 is comparatively an easy target. Sebastian goes for a quick left B. UAB 45. Mid-range. And wow, Sebastian does everything perfectly. No goes. Might stop Team HZ. Rio! Eliminates Logos. Tony again in that same situation like match number one. And his team MVP against him. 18 elims by Team HZ. And I feel like after this game, they're going to end the competition and they will become the champions. But MVP Esports, I mean, they've been consistent from game number one. They've been consistent since game one. So if they get this winner chicken, and I feel like they'll level up the score with Team HZ. But Team HZ just has tremendous amount of eliminations. And Team MVP has half of what HZ has right now. That is 9 elims. And they've lost Potion. Potion is knocked out. Still a question to revive him. Even Sebastian can create tensions for Team MVP from sidelines. Maybe he ran out of ammo. His AR weapon doesn't have enough amount of ammo. And Sebastian is waiting for a perfect moment, maybe. Oral gets knocked out. Sebastian, you can move ahead. Stony, he's MVP esports killer, isn't he? Again, he does the same job. And Sebastian with that nasty grenade. Well, he steals a frag of Stony. But Stony now, running in a wide open area, Clips eliminates him. He didn't even have his weapon in his hands. He didn't even have his weapon in his hand. What was he doing? Sebastian versus Clips 1v1. And yeah, Sebastian did run out of ammo with his M416. In his M416. Switches on to UMP45, reloads on time. Clips deals tremendous amount of damage. Sebastian. Somehow he was just trying to tank those bullets. But at the end, he will get eliminated. And MVP Esports with a winner chicken dinner. But still, the team which will get most amount of points from this game, the team will top the overall standings, top the match standings, and overall standings as well, will be Team HZ. We'll be right back after a short break with match number 4. Till then, stay tuned. refresh them. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for match number 4, the main event of the evening, and here we go. Flight path initiates from the west of Georgia City and finishes off towards the south of Sosnoka military base. Accessing west is not at all difficult. Heading towards the center is a bit. And heading towards the east is more difficult, and I don't think any team is going to try doing that. Teams that are not in contention are going to fight. Teams that are in contention, who can specifically go for podium finish, are going to try their very best. They're not going to fight in the early stages, especially Team MVP. They're going to change their strategy. So does Team HZ. These two teams won't be seen fighting early, but definitely they'll be trying to get a good amount of eliminations and a bit of a chicken dinner on their plate so that they can win this finals. Roscar week 6. Team Reset will be heading towards Pachinki and they're going to fight Team Roscar RS. A solid 3v4 fight. With Roscar RS, yeah, they are playing with 4 players, so it's going to be a solid 3v4 fight and a big challenge for Team Reset. But Extermi, as soon as he dropped, he found a pump shotgun and Unique right in front of his eyes. And Unique will unfortunately be unlucky. And within a fraction of a second, this 3v4 fight will be turned into a 3v3. Still Team Roscar Prime didn't find weapons. But finally they will. Daniel was in a 1v1 fight. Dipsy knocks him down. Biggie and Golden as the duo surviving. And all of a sudden now Team Roscar RS felt short. And in this last game as well, Roscar RS is not going to show their true colors. They won't be able to show their true colors. Golden found a crossbow. Biggie gets knocked out too. Now Golden, what is he up to? A pump shotgun and a crossbow. Team Reset, incredible performance from their side. And they were a bit lucky too. But Golden connects that first shot of that pump shotgun really well. Maybe he's trying to bait Team Reset. Well, that's clever. Since he's buying so much time, Team Reset is going to easily revive Dipsy. Golden moves in. Oh, wow, look at us. Now that's Extermi will eliminate Golden. And Team Roscar RS gets eliminated on 17th position. Dipsy will be finished in this whole fight. Team Reset will be facing just one setback. They were playing with just 3 players. Now they're down to 2. Reset, Extermi, and no knocks. Let's see how long they can travel, how long they can survive. But one thing is true, Team Reset is going to go for blood. They're going to fight. They're not going to sit. They're not going to sit in a corner just to survive till the very end. Because they're in a state where they're not going to win anything, even if they get a winner chicken dinner. Their chances of becoming the champions are practically over now. So it's time to play aggressively. It's time to sharpen up your gunpowder. NWR starts in a ugly way. Psycho gets eliminated. So NWR now down to 3 players. It was Mega Pa maybe, or somebody else who gave them this first casualty. But NWR in a big split. Look at Thomas, how scattered Team NWR is at this point. And HZ can definitely trap Thomas inside this compound. Maybe HZ gave NWR this casualty, you never know. Is HZ off the mark? Yep, it's BCG Pro who will be bringing in the first frag for Team HZ. And he'll be giving their first casualty as well to NWR. Team Elite, they had a miserable day. J1 gets knocked out. At least in this last game, Team Elite would want to fetch out good performance for them. And they will be starting off in a positive way. TRX gets eliminated on 16th position. And this was their final appearance in Roscar Week 6 Finals. And that didn't go well. They could just knock down one player of Team Elite. That was J1. And he will be revived. So Team Elite will get eliminated empty-handed. Sad news for HZ. They'll be losing their star player Stoney in the very early stages of this game. Become the first casualty. NWR indeed with a great retaliation. And these two teams are giants. It's going to be a heavyweight battle. A battle between the heavyweights of this lobby. Mate gets knocked out. The CG Pro Targets Thomas. He's outnumbered and he gets knocked out. Now where's Rio? He's miles away from his teammates. And now he needs to run towards a safe area. He needs to isolate himself. He needs to save himself till the very end. HZ, they're losing their chances of becoming the champions of Roscar Week 6 Finals. And so much happy Team MVP must be at this point that Team HZ has lost 3 of their players in the very early stages. Team MVP doesn't need to do anything extra. They just need to survive till the very end. If HZ gets eliminated early, then definitely MVP. If they just reach top 5, they will eventually become the champions of Roscar Week 6 Finals. But if somehow the final player Rio of Team HZ stays till the very end, then MVP Esports will need to take things in their hands. They'll need to eliminate Rio. But I think Rio is not going to survive for a very long time. For RVS against Brothers in Arms. Even Brothers in Arms had a miserable day. I've never seen Brothers in Arms performing this bad. I mean, this is like they've hit the rock bottom. Razvan gets the rev. DRG17 gets the rev too. Rio gets cooked by falling. And Team HZ gets eliminated on 15 positions. So MVP Esports just has to survive till the very end. And eventually they'll become the champions of Week 6 Finals of Roscar. But imagine if Team MVP gets eliminated too. I mean, Team HZ will get so much happy if that happens. But one thing is true. Team HZ is definitely going to be the first runner-ups of Roscar Week 6 Finals. Yeah. Nobody can steal or snatch that first runner-up position from them if MVP Esports gets a winner-winner chicken dinner or if they become the champions. Nobody is even close enough to snatch that hashtag 2 out of their hands. Alpha Esports, at least in this final game, can Alpha Esports show their true colors. By the way, right now, Brothers in Arms versus 4RVS, and this is a very stacked fight. Both the teams had equal amount of numbers, but then Brothers in Arms gave 4RVS their first casualty. Now Danu gets knocked out, and this is the loophole Brothers in Arms were looking for. Razvan steps out, Goro knocks him down, and step by step 4RVS is heading towards their elimination for the final times, for the final time in Roscar Week 6 Finals. Killer gets a knock. He needs to pop in that first aid. Killer was just waiting for his opponent to step into his crosshair. Couldn't press that fire button on time. And that's it. Brothers in Arms will win this fight. 4 elims for them. And mostly the last game, most of the bloodshed happened till stage 3, and then the pace of the game completely slows down. And it's kind of boring in the end circle, because teams take so much time to fight, and very less players are alive by stage 3 or stage 4. And that shouldn't happen in this game. Well, the only team which is going to play passive is Team MVP. If they somehow get eliminated, I feel like all the other teams are going to go absolutely nuts. Team Relevant has been eliminated. They had a great last game, but Gamers United Force, now they'll be showing their force, what they are built of. For NF, on the negative side of finish feed, they'll be losing Cloud. Even 4NF is not in contention, just the first game. In the first game, I remember at one point they had a really good position inside the circle, but then circle ditched them, and then they couldn't reach circle after that. They couldn't enter the circle after that. And after that, Team 4NF didn't look good until the third round of game. After that incident when they got eliminated in the first game, they didn't look good in Miramar, and then in Rondo, they got hashtag 2. So maybe 4NF, sort of, they are in contention too, but only if they get a winner chicken in this final Wrangle game, there can be a slight amount of chance where they can get hashtag 2 or overtake Team HZ on points table. But it's very difficult to happen. They need eliminations because Team HZ, especially in the last game, I guess Team HZ had got hashtag 3 with 18 elims, so that's going to make it 23, 24 points for Team HZ. Maybe if they had 19 elims, so it will make it 24 points. Let's make it a round figure 25. So it was a 25 pointer for Team HZ from the last game. It is going to give them a big jump on the points table, definitely. And still, I feel like MVP Esports hasn't overtaken Team HZ on the points table because from the last game, 10 elims and a winner chicken dinner, it just could give them 20 points. It was not enough. Yeah, 20 points from the last game team MVP managed to secure. And it's not enough. It's not enough if they want to overtake Team HZ on the points table. But yeah, definitely, if in this game they play well, just like the other three games, MVP has a chance of becoming the champions of Roscar W6 Finals. NWR, as soon as they noticed things slipping out of their hands, they will just withdraw from that fight. But Team Reset might bother them. Unreal is out of this game. Things went south for NWR. And are they chasing Reset? Absolutely. Extreme. So much low he is. Doesn't even have enough time to heal himself. He bought it enough amount of time. Nono shows up. And Nono gets knocked out by Thomas's grenade. Pop in that first at Extreme. Come on, what are you doing? Maybe some sort of bug. Extreme heals himself. NWR misses a grenade. Extreme will be so much lucky that that grenade didn't connect. Nice spams that S12K. Thomas connects well. And that's it. NWR eliminates Team Reset on 12th position. And we are left with just 11 teams and 32 players, 4NF. They're still trapped in a fight. By the way, Enzo didn't give a hint about his position to Team RH. RH has no clue that there's still a player present inside this compound. And they'll just mind their own business. Spicy team, spicy squad, by the way. I don't know why they are being so much cautious and passive. They're not in contention, to be honest. They are nowhere close to hashtag 7, I guess. Yeah, Spicy Squad hasn't performed well. They're not even in the top 7. They're not even close to top 7. And I don't find any reason behind playing passive. They should have went out guns blazing, but instead of that, they are just holding inside a compound, making this game boring. All the other teams are giving us so much spice, so much action. Then we have Spicy Squad, who is just not ready to step out of their comfort zone and fight. MVP, they're holding in ruins. And it's okay if MVP is holding because they perform exceptionally well in the first 3 games. So they deserve to hold, they deserve to play slowly. And the championship is on the line. That is why. The money is on the line. That is the reason why MVP, they've slowed down the pace of the game completely. Stage 3 has just initiated. Northwestern shift by the circle. MVP, now they're out of the circle. They have to move quickly. And if they move from the extreme west, they can make their way to the shooting range caves. Or the shooting range compound. Maybe that dip where the airplane, the trashed airplane is there. Yeah, MVP Esports can make their way to that dip. They can hold it. That will be a very helpful position for them. And especially if the end circle forms in the nearby areas, MVP Esports, they'll find themselves in a very strong position to convert this game into a winner-winner chicken dinner. Team HZ must be watching this game very closely because a lot is at stake. The championship is at stake, and especially if MVP Esports plays well, they'll win it. Brothers in Arms, I was talking about this particular dip, and Brothers in Arms before MVP. They'll access this step. And conflict of interest now. Brothers in Arms versus MVP soon. MVP will reach this particular area. But NWR, even they are collecting information. Even they have kept their eyes on this dip. But NWR, not interested in fighting now. They are just keeping up the peace. No fights happening around the map. Alpha Esports in this last game, they just want to play their natural game, that is camping. I don't know why Team Alpha Esports is holding so much. But I was just kidding, ladies and gentlemen. Alpha Esports just wants to play with their primary strategy, the way they play in other games, the same way they want to play in this game as well. Letra gets caught. Spicy squad, finally they will be forced into a fight. And how long Team Spicy Squad will run from fights? They are withdrawing. They are just heading towards the circle. Again, that circle to circle gameplay, circle to circle performance, circle to circle play strategy by Team Spicy Squad. This should be changed, I believe. At least in this last game, Brothers in Arm, they want to get a winner chicken dinner. At least they'll finish this final in a positive way. They couldn't do much in the first 3 games. So yeah, finishing a final in a positive way really boosts your confidence. And that is what Brothers in Arm is looking after. Elite versus Gamers United Force. Render, he went in close, he checked out that compound, collected information, now he's going to come back. Gamers United Force, they need an opening desperately. And maybe they knocked out a player, but still didn't get the conviction to close in. Maybe they are looking for another opening. And since Gamers United Force, they have numbers disadvantage, they're already down to 3 players. They are not underestimating their opponents. If they had all their 4 players alive by now, they would have pushed in. But since they faced a casualty, they are just being more cautious. They are taking more precautions. No errors should happen. Gamers United Force, I mean, they have unbelievable amount of gunpowder, extraordinary amount of gunpowder. But in the first 3 games, things didn't go well. Gamers United Force, they became too late to make a comeback. Even Rondo didn't go well. And now here they are in the final game. With the best start. 5 eliminations. They're about to target Team Elite. But no openings for now. Team Elite as well. Not so much interested in this fight. Not even peeking. Brothers in Arm versus MVP. And I told you, conflict of interest might happen. And Team MVP, now they are going after Team Brothers in Arms. One of the players of Brothers in Arms have been knocked out. Has been knocked out. One of the players has been knocked out. And MVP Esports trying to press hard. Legend will be spotted. Potion does a great job. Now 1v1 against Guru. And yeah, pretty easily MVP Esports will secure this strip. 3 elims for Team MVP, and as I said, pretty easily Team MVP Esports will be able to secure the step for them. Brothers in Arms, they're eliminated on 9th position. They desperately wanted to finish this finals in a positive way, but MVP Esports wouldn't allow them to do so. Alpha Esports shows up now. They've had the gunshots. And Alpha Esports is interested in doing a third party. By the way, MVP Esports is ready for everything, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to go easy. It's not going to come easy for Alpha Esports. By the way, MVP Esports doesn't really know about Alpha Esports, don't they? Alpha Esports moved on feet. I can't even see their vehicles parked nearby. So maybe Alpha Esports moved on feet. That's why MVP Esports could sense the presence of Team Alpha Esports. Gamers United Force will keep on adding more eliminations into their bag. Now they have 6. So at least a positive finish for Gamers United Force. Finally, Soya unleashing. Gets the opening, but it's difficult to finish clips. Look at Lighter, how much eager he is to move ahead and finish clips and give MVP the first casualty of the game. And at this point, Alpha Esports just want to ruin the game of MVP. Down to 3, Team MVP is. Soya gets knocked out. MVP Esports now will deal with Lighter. And it's going to be brutal for him. It's a 3v1 fight. MVP is furious. Lighter will be dealt with by Potion. Just like that, Team Alpha Esports will get eliminated on 7th position, but a casualty for Team MVP. This is gonna really bother Team MVP. This is gonna be painful. Ranger gets cooked inside that shack. And I feel like Gamers United Force now they're down to 1 player. Yeah. Aspect, he's the final player surviving. TikTok Kara takes down Morgan of our age. CK 1926 goes after Roscar Prime. Roscar Prime stayed out of action throughout the game. 5 elims they have. Decent amount of eliminations. But I feel like they accelerated in the end stages. They didn't fight in the early on. But they fight in the later on stages of this game. And just a few minutes ago, they secured these 5 finishes. Great tracing that was. Team Rage was trying to close in. Sika and Morgan will be stopped midway. Slazy closes in. He's trying to grab the attention of Team Roscar Prime so that they don't grenade his teammates. Malio is the final player surviving. 1926, he heals himself. Nobody versus Melio. 1v1 fight, a crucial fight for Melio. Oh wow, nobody with just one shot humbles him. 1926. He's reviving Morgan, but he'll be seen by nobody. And just like that, Team RH falls short and gets eliminated on 5th position. And now we have just 4 teams and 9 players left. Team MVP steps into the circle. Just keep themselves away from action. They wouldn't want to become the center of attraction. Gamers United Force. Now, one thing is true that they cannot enter the circle. Nightmare. If he has a vehicle, then it's possible. But if he doesn't have a vehicle, then entering the circle is not really possible at this point. But he can ruin the game of Team MVP Esports from this particular position. He has a vehicle. And he can move. Maybe he can attack Team MVP. But he'd want to let things get worse for Team MVP first. Then he can try to breach the setup of Team MVP. Right now, he is just keeping himself hidden. Goblin gets knocked out. Voisu might finish him. But those splinters won't really bother Goblin. Potion will be stabbed in his back by Nightmare. And this is now where Nightmare reveals himself to Team MVP. Goblin will be finished off. Definitely Nightmare is going to attack Team MVP. He is going to run over Oral. Oh, Nightmare will be stabbed in his back. Nightmare takes a taste of his own medicine. He'll be stabbed in his back by Aspect. NWR gets eliminated on 4th position. MVP, maybe they know about Aspect. Potion gets knocked out. But I think this is enough. This performance is enough. 10 points out of this game for Team MVP. And I guess they've crossed the finish line and they will become the champions of Roscar W6 Finals. But from this last game, it's Team Roscar Prime will be getting a winner chicken dinner with 13 eliminations. Positive finish for Roscar Prime. And that's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all guys have enjoyed. And if yes, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. That's the end of match number 4. And I'm Saito signing off. I hope you all guys have enjoyed. And if yes, yeah, again, I'll repeat it. Make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. See you in the next tournament. Till then, bye bye, good night, and take care.